So friends, we continue to follow the news and events on the front lines of Ukraine and Russia. And today there is a lot of interesting news, but let's take it step by step. The Ukrainian armed forces are actively advancing in the area near Novoprokopivka and conducting shelling of Russian positions. This suggests that new advancements in this direction are possible in the near future. Meanwhile, the gray zone has pushed up to the Очеретовate, which is the last village in the Russian defensive line. The General Staff amply refers to this direction as the Melitopol one. They are clearly indicating that the movement will be towards Melitopol. This is the shortest stretch to cut through the Russian grouping. Today, the distance from the farthest front line to Melitopol is approximately 65 kilometers. Well, friends, before we continue, I'd like to ask you to share this video on social media and watch it till the end. It'll greatly support the growth of my channel. Thank you. Also, in the direction of Kherson, yesterday's sortie of our units indicate that the area around Oleshki is seemingly in the gray zone. A map has surfaced online pinpointing the location of a flag. It appears that the occupiers don't control this town, and according to our fighters in the video, the Russians might use drones to monitor the presence of the Ukrainian armed forces there and potentially conduct artillery shelling. Therefore, it seems the occupiers don't hold positions in that area.
Це, блядь, з лівого берега Дніпра, вон, Антонівський міст там десь, трошечки. Це Андрюшка, я Іван, Богом даний. Вон на Ірі, блядь, що від нього осталося, блядь. Ну, так тут виглядає після потопу, після прильотів, обстрілів. Але ми тут знайшли, коротше, випадково от такий прикольний флагшток на одній з будівель. І вирішили, коротше, в нас випадково в Андрюхи в кармані опинився наш жовто-блакитний стяг. Та ми... Ну, будемо казати, що випадково. Він з'явився в тебе в кармані. І ми вирішили його вчепити на оцей ось гарненький флагшток. Що?
Потримай, щоб не закрутився.
А, да. Давай. Отам якось закріпи, да, щоб він не падав. Ой, вибачте, що оце на камеру харкаюсь. Я сильно не тянув, да? Все, я попустив.
Ну, давай.
Андрюха, шустрее, бо, блядь, дітей Бог орланы, мы ж небо не запрашивали.
Обидеть?
Да накидают нам сейчас, блядь, как бы. Ми, звісно, на свої, блядь, он десь прильот, там дим, бачиш? Ну він давно вже димить. Десь там, або там по дачам, або, блядь. Коротше, десь щось було. Бля, доставай телефон, гімн включай чи що, як піднімати буду. Є в тебе?
А не надо.
В Ютубі знайди, вон інтернет з собою, все добре. Ти закріпив?
Да.
О, як майорить, а зверху як буде. По драконім дебілів трошки. Хай знають, що це наша земля, що ми тут. Ми тут були і будемо, і ще й в Краснодарі будемо. Ну, спочатку в Криму відсвяткуємо перемогу, а потім вже щось не то. Якийсь ремікс. реклама. Да?
Хочеш, щоб твій смартфон умів робити так? Хочеш, щоб твій смартфон переміщався ось так? Хочеш?
Бомба.
Все, вяжи.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава, смерть ворогам.
Additionally, the Russians continue to be concerned about the Crimean Bridge, and it's reported that new barriers have been identified consisting of 5 submerged barges. These barriers of 5 sunken barges have appeared near the Crimean Bridge between the island and the Tuzla Spit. The Russian side hopes to counter Ukrainian naval drones. The distance between the barges is approximately 200 meters, which is enough for drones to pass through. There is speculation that special nets have been stretched across the barges, intended to hinder underwater and surface drones from reaching the bridge. In the Vuhledar direction, shelling persists along the entire front line, so the occupiers are attempting to strike at the rear to neutralize equipment that could potentially be used for upcoming offensive operations. Overall, the Russians are deeply apprehensive about new attacks, hence their intensified shelling to weaken our units. However, the Ukrainian forces are hitting back deep into the rear. There were reports of new explosions in Berdyansk yesterday evening also. In the Kupiansk direction, the occupiers are continuing their shelling activities without initiating any offensive actions, much like before. Information about troop movements occasionally surface, but for now they haven't dared to launch an attack and the front line remains unsettled. In the Svatovo area, all attacks have also ceased and only shelling is ongoing. It's safe to say that the situation has stabilized. Tactical battles might arise from time to time. Indeed, there was a surprising breakthrough by our units closer to the city in the Kremina area yesterday. Additionally, we've seen recent shelling incidents in Chernopopivka, indicating a high level of activity from the Ukrainian armed forces. Similarly, in the vicinity of the village of Terne, the Ukrainian forces managed to slightly push the front line away from the river. The Russian operation to push the Ukrainian forces across the river didn't materialize. As evident, all of the Russian successes in this direction have fallen through, and a gradual withdrawal to previous positions is underway. In the Bakhmut direction, the Ukrainian forces are currently engaged in tactical battles in the areas of Klishchiivka, Andriivka and Kurdyumivka. Large-scale assault operations involving significant numbers of vehicles and units haven't been launched thus far. Consequently, the front line remains relatively stable. On the other hand, the occupiers are not initiating new attacks either and are only recording instances of shelling. Hanna Mahler commented on the situation unfolding around Bakhmut.
ворога на сході триває з січня повномасштабний, і ніби здається, що ці новини повторюються. Насправді там дуже активно розвивається ситуація. І якщо говорити про схід, от прям свіжі новини, там непогано ми просуваємося по Бахмутському напрямку. Це власне те, що найбільше ворогу дошкуляє, і власне тому вони намагаються переключити і відволікти наші зусилля на інших напрямках. Там ми рухаємося по південному флангу, і там намагаємося, ми вже і так вийшли на багато пануючих висот, і власне ворог там у пастці, тому що вони із Бахмута вийти не можуть.
In the Avdiivka direction, the occupiers continue shelling, but there are no new offensive actions taking place around the city. There is a process of repositioning underway due to the fact that all previous attacks have significantly depleted the number of Russian troops and their equipment in this direction. Moving further south to Marinka, battles are ongoing and there is no sign of successes on the Russian side as before. Meanwhile, the shelling persists without cessation. Furthermore, the situation regarding the death of Prigozhin remains intriguing. The Kremlin has stated that they will not allow anyone to participate in the investigation of the plane crash that claimed the life of the head of the Wagner Group. Dmitry Peskov, the press secretary of the Russian president, mentioned that Russia will not permit an international investigation into the Embraer plane crash where Yevgeny Prigozhin, the founder of the Wagner Group, died. He emphasized that it will be an internal Russian investigation. So, according to him, the situation surrounding the plane crash has changed significantly due to the lack of investigation results. Since there are no investigation conclusions, I cannot precisely formulate this for you, but it is obvious that there are various versions, including the version you are aware of, intentional wrongdoing, and so on. Therefore, let's wait for the results of our Russian investigation led by the investigative committee, said Putin's press secretary. However, Appendix 13 to the Convention of International Civil Aviation, also known as the Chicago Convention of 1944, calls for international cooperation. In the investigation of aviation accidents, experts work to improve flight safety without determining guilt, but investigations are often tainted by political interests. It's worth adding that prior to this, Russia informed the Brazilian Aviation Investigation Authority that it wouldn't investigate the crash of the Brazilian manufactured aircraft that claimed Prigozhin's life in accordance with international rules. This further supports the notion that Russia has something to hide, and I'm almost convinced that Prigozhin's death is the handiwork of Putin. Please share your thoughts in the comments. I'm very curious to read them. And that's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.